Good day and welcome back to the Devonshire Mall in Windsor, Ontario, the site of the JK Cup Windsor Open Squash Tournament. My name is Dominic Papa and we're glad to have you along for the ride here on We Digital Productions. An exciting day of squash ahead of us. Our first match, as you can see, they are underway, ready to go. Hannah Guthrie wearing the light-colored light blue top, and her opponent Sano Herring wearing the red-black shirt. And Arisa Sano Herring jumps out to a quick 2-0 lead over Guthrie here. Good squash all week long. If you've been following it, you've been able to witness some outstanding play, but it's going to get even better as a lot of the pros will now take to the court for the remainder of the week here in Windsor. Some high-profile names will be all part of it, and we've had good crowds. We've had some special dignitaries check in. It's just been a great week, a great tournament put together by the local committee here and also Squash Canada. (4-1) Herring here in the first game of this best of five. Herring, one of the young up-and-coming stars of squash. (6-1) Herring now, as she's on a nice roll to start this match. Unforced error there by Guthrie makes it 7-1 for Sano Herring. Good crowd has assembled here for the early match. Again, we'll have play right up till 8 o'clock this evening. A long day of squash here. The men will take to the court a little bit later. Guthrie finally puts together back-to-back points, making it 8-3. And right away she gives the serve back to Herring. Great shot there by Guthrie. 4 serving 9 now. Game ball now for Arisa Sano Herring. She leads at 10-4. Herring survives the first game ball. That one's out. Game goes to Arisa Sano Herring. She takes the first game of this best of five match with Hannah Guthrie. A quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have the second game. You're watching the JK Cup Open Squash Tournament in Windsor, Ontario, brought to you by We Digital Productions. Welcome back to the JK Cup here in Windsor, Ontario. Game number 2 set to go in this first match of the day between Arisa Sano Herring taking on Hannah Guthrie. Herring took the first set, or first game I should say, 11-5. She gets the second game going with the serve. Right away, Herring grabs a, oh, actually, yeah, she grabs a 1-0 lead. Just like last game, Herring getting out to a quick start. Guthrie having to play catch up right away. Quickly, Herring gets out to a 4-0 lead. Make that 5. As you can see, Herring a ranked player at number 5. And she's making quick work of this game with Hannah Guthrie, leading 6-0. And Guthrie breaks the point streak, gets on the scoreboard. A nice effort there by Hannah. Guthrie comes up short, a little frustrated there. 8-1 now, Herring leads here in game 2. Nice shot there from Guthrie. Gets her second point of the game here. Game ball coming up here for Herring as she now leads it 10-2. Looking to take a 2-0 to lead in this match with Guthrie. And there it is. Arisa Sano Herring leads it 2-0 over Hannah Guthrie. 11-2 the final score here in the second game. Another quick timeout. Come back with the third game of this match. You're watching the JK Cup Open Squash Tournament in Windsor, Ontario on We Digital Productions. Welcome back to the JK Cup in Windsor, Ontario at the Devonshire Mall, the beautiful Devonshire Mall. A great team effort to put this tournament together and bring in this beautiful court. And we've already witnessed some great squash this week, and it'll continue for 3 more days. Actually 4 if you're counting today still. Right throughout till Sunday. This first match is featuring Arisa Sano Herring against the local product Hannah Guthrie. You can see the scores up top of the first 2 games. Herring trying to sweep the match. Guthrie trying to force it to a 4th game. Guthrie has taken a 1-0 lead here early on. And Herring ties it up at 1. Make that 2-1 for Herring. This part of the tournament will culminate on Sunday with the championship games. For those tuning in here in the Windsor area, you really should take the time to come down to the mall and check this out. It's pretty exciting stuff right in front of you. A very unique event to our area. Good action here between Guthrie and Herring, and Guthrie manages to take the point, cut the lead in half. Great shot there. Guthrie, I should say. She's wearing the light blue shirt. Unable to get to that ball. Point for Herring. She now leads at 5-3. Herring trying to make quick work of this. Keep energy for the rest of this tournament. She'll definitely be one of the ones to watch as we go on here. Eight 3 now, Herring leading it. Well on her way to her third straight win here. Guthrie unable to get to that again. Herring 2 points away from the match. Herring had Guthrie running all over that time and gets the point. Match ball here for Herring. Good rally here. And unfortunately, Guthrie can't finish it off. Herring wins it. Very appreciative crowd here, applauding both players. Final score, Herring 11-5, 11-2, 11-3. She moves on. Impressive match for the 5th ranked player in this tournament. We'll be back in a few minutes. Our second match of the game is coming up. It'll feature an American, I believe. We'll have that for you as the JK Cup in Windsor continues on We Digital Productions. Welcome back to the JK Cup Open Squash Tournament here in Windsor, Ontario at the Devonshire Mall. You're watching it on produced by We Digital Productions. Second match of the day. And Ania Mishawari will take on Amal Ezar. Ezar ranked number 6. Mishawari, a local product here in Windsor, one of the up-and-coming star players. Ezar is wearing the full black t-shirt. Mishawari is in the tank top, so to speak, just to distinguish each player. Ezar takes a 1-0 lead here. Make that 2-0. Quickly, Amal Ezar out to a 3-0 lead. Good rally here. And that one comes up short. Mishawari gets her first point of the game, making it 3-1. Now the score for Ezar. Five one now. Amal Ezar on a nice roll to start this match, that's for sure. Jumping out to a big 7-1 lead. Mishawari couldn't make that play. Makes it 8-1 in favor of Ezar. That one goes out. Mishawari gets the serve and the point, 8-2. She's down. Ezar gets that back, 9-2. She leads it a couple points away from taking game 1 here. Good hustle there by Mishawari. And she earns the point. Makes it 9-3. Back-to-back points there for Mishawari. Game ball for Amal Ezar. Nice effort there by Mishawari to stay alive here in game one. Down 10-5. Game ball again for Ezar. Another point for Mishawari. Mishawari, good energy here at the end, coming back, making it 10-7. She's down 10-2 at one point. That's out, and that'll be the victory for Amal Ezar. She wins game one 11-7, but a nice effort by Mishawari to hang tough in that game. We'll see if she can carry some of that over into the second game of this match. You're watching the J.K. Kelly Cup Open Squash Championship, brought to you by We Digital Productions and Squash Canada. We continue on our coverage of the J.K. Kelly Cup, or J.K. Wilson Cup, I should say. Well, maybe it is the Kelly Cup. I'll get it straight, folks, I promise. The J.K. Cup, we'll leave it at that. Here on We Digital. This is the second match of the day. Features a local product, Ananya Mishawari, and she's taking on 6th-ranked Amal Ezar. Ezar took the first game by 11-7 score. She now leads here in game 2 by a 3-0 score. Also want to thank CBC for carrying the broadcast. Great to have them on board. We appreciate that very much. Ezar out to a quick 5, make that 6-0 lead here, making it tough for Mishawari. Mishawari actually was down big in the first game, but a good strong comeback towards the end, came up short. But right away here, she's in a little bit of a hole, being down 6-0. That one's out. Another point for Ezar, makes it 7-0. Mishawari gets her first point of the second game here. 7-1, she's down with the serve. Can't get to that ball. Point for Ezar. 8-1 now, Ezar with a comfortable lead here in game 2. Good rally here and a great play there by Ezar, as it looked like Mishawari had her on the ropes, but Ezar, good speed, was able to get to a lot of those shots and got a point out of it. And there Mishawari comes up short. 10-1 now for Ezar, and this is game ball, looking to take a 2-0 lead here in this match. And there it is. Amal Ezar wins game number 2 by an 11-1 score. She now leads this best of 5 match. 2-0, winning the first game 11-7. She'll look to finish it off when we return. This is the JK Cup Open Squash Tournament in Windsor, Ontario, produced by We Digital Productions in Squash, Canada. Welcome back to the JK Cup Windsor, the JK Windsor Cup, I should say, squash tournament in Windsor, Ontario, being played right in the beautiful Devonshire Mall. It's been a great week already of squash, and it's going to continue for the next 3.5 days as we get to see the pros take to the court now. This is the third game of this match between Ananya Mishawari of Windsor and Amal Ezar, the number 6 seed in this tournament. Ezar is leading 11-7, 11-1, and now takes a 1-0 lead, looking to complete this match here in this third game. And Mishawari gets the point. Mishawari in the black sort of like tank top. Ezar in the full black t-shirt. It's been a good week for the sport of squash. A lot of people have been traveling through the mall here, and many of them have stopped, taken a seat for a little bit, took in some good squash action, and for many, I would imagine, maybe even the first time to see this game of squash. It's an exciting game, fast game, and great athleticism. And I can really sense that the people that have come to check this stuff out have been overly impressed and have enjoyed what they've been able to watch. Ezar with a 3-2 lead. Mishawari unable to get to that ball. That'll make it 4-2 for Ezar. Earlier on, we watched Sano Herring, the number 5 seed in this tournament, defeat Hannah Guthrie in 3 straight games. Six-2 now, Ezar. Working her way towards a victory here against Mishawari. Five-point cushion now for Amal. Nice shot there by Mishawari. Gets the point and the serve back. Down 4 here in the third game. Another point there for Mishawari. That one is out, 8-4, Ezar. Nice shot there by Ezar, one that Mishawari couldn't get to. Makes it 9-4. Match ball for Amal Ezar, looking to complete the sweep. Nice save by Ezar. Good rally here, one of the better ones of the game. And Ezar is able to finish it off. Wins it 11-4. The scores are 11-7, 11-1, 11-4. A sweep for Amal Ezar, the number 6 seed of this tournament. We're going to take a break. We'll continue on with more action from the JK Cup Windsor Squash Tournament, being produced by Wheat Digital Productions and Squash Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next men's match is underway. My name is Sam Cornett, and I have a guest with me. You may recognize her. She just won her match in the first round of the JK Windsor Open women's event. I have with me Amal Ezar. Amal, how you doing?
Good.
Good. How do you
Thanks
feel
for
about
having
your
me.
match? Pleasure.
I feel good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was sick for 2 weeks, so just getting back into squash the last few days. And I felt pretty confident about my game today.
Yeah, you look sharp. Sometimes when you're unwell, it kind of makes you think you have to, well, you're not anymore, but it makes you play smarter. Do you find that?
Yeah, I'm making quick decisions now. I've been analyzing my game for the last few days, trying to see how I can change things around.
Yeah, and if you had to stop, lay off your training for a bit, you probably don't want to go to 5.
No.
At the early stage in the tournament.
Yeah, just trying to preserve as much energy as I can.
Smart. What did you think of the court?
I like this court. I've played on it a few times, so just slowly getting used to it. There's some shots you find that are tougher to get, but as the time goes on, you get more and more used to it.
Yep. And can you explain, this is a very specific setting. We've covered the top in front of the court with black tarp, but what's it like when the sun comes in for the viewers, just so they're aware of, particular challenges with this venue?
The sun came in during my match on the left side, so on the backhand you couldn't really see something, or you couldn't see the ball for a little bit, but as you keep playing, you learn how to analyze where the ball's going to go, so you're able to sort of see what shots you can hit based off of that.
So you feel like you got better at judging the ball as the match went on?
Yeah, for sure.
That makes sense. And what do you think about your next match?
I played Nikki once, so I'm looking forward to a rematch now.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been training hard, so hopefully
That's
good
great.
comes out of it. Yeah.
Good for you. And what do you think of this match here? Score is pretty tight so far.
It looks like a good match. I've seen Nick play a few times. He's a great player.
Yep.
And Mitch has also been training hard recently, so go either way.
Yeah. Both are probably pretty sharp. Mitch has been playing here all week. He's been on the glass court. Nick just came off the Commonwealth Games, so both of these men are in top form right now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Amal, for joining us. We look forward to watching you the rest of the week.
Thanks for having me, Sam.
Good luck with your cool down.
Thank you.
A little bit of controversy here. Typically not meant to open the door, but there is a lot of ambient noise here. We've got an inflatable court to one side of the court, a lot of people passing through the mall, so sometimes it helps just to ask a question. We've got a pretty great setup here at Devonshire Mall. Glass court with tons of seating, so if you're watching online and you can come watch in person, please join us. Lots of squash left, just in the middle of our week-long celebration of squash. We also have a VIP lounge, and the players are being taken care of in a player lounge with lots of space to warm up, relax, have a bite. Tight squash from Sackby. Sackby just came off of a week of singles and doubles play at the Commonwealth Games where him and partner David Bayerjean, they had a great result, winning a really tough doubles match together. Sharp squash from Cunard here. precise drop to finish off his game. Sackby will be happy with that game. He'll probably look to sharpen up even more as he gets used to the court. We'll see you for game number 2. Back in for the second game. Nick Sackby will be looking to make a mark in this tournament. The winner of this match will play the winner of Shah Jahan Khan and Maz Mufti, which will be an interesting matchup. Two players here at very different ends of their career. Nick Sackby, an established player. He's played for many, many years after competing for Cornell University. And his highest ranking, right around 60 in the world on the PSA World Rankings. Mitch just getting started at university right now, I believe. Looking to play lots of tournaments. I know both are training really hard. Great finish from Connert. Tons of exposure for squash here at the mall. Lots of people are stopping to watch these gentlemen play. Nice call from Sackby there. Close, but not quite. Great finish from Connert. pitch injecting pace here really well. I do think he's quite a tall guy, so I think he needs to take advantage of that even more, cutting off everything, really dominating the tee. He already volleys quite well, but I see him miss just a few chances like that. It doesn't seem like a big deal to let a ball like that go, but it takes a little bit of pressure, and that one as well, off of your opponent when you leave those balls. You have to hit a little bit tighter to get it by them once you go to the back. Takes pressure off them, puts pressure on you. Great finish. Great finish again. That one's an easy one. Connor closing the gap here. The joys of hitting a tight ball when someone hits a frame winner. It's rough. Pretty gritty from Connor to climb back here. Some really sharp play. You might see a few strokes here. I'm sure you heard them all speaking in the first game that the sun coming in does impact how you hit the ball when you take it, whether you can see it. This will improve over time at these events as we put this glass court in more and more public locations. Mission number one, get lots of eyes on squash. And we'll improve this as we go for the players. On the plus side, it's the same for both, but it does unfortunately see a few swings and misses or hitting the sidewall with your racket. It's harder to judge when you can't see the ball as clearly. Great finish from Sackby. See if experience pulls through here. He's down a few game balls. It's tight. Connor maybe missing an opportunity there where the ball popped up. He could have finished it off. Or put Nick under more pressure at least. Climbing back. Win by 2 here, 10-all. Very tight game. Great finish. That length is a statement. Very sharp, very precise, very intentional. More of it there. Nick picking up the pace here at the end of this second game, and it's paid off. He takes the second, 12-10. Really great push from Kennert in that game. Just a little bit of execution at the end. He had his moments, but really Sackby picked up the pace, and I think he was trying to show who's boss and pump himself up at the end of that second game. While these guys get started in their third game, I'd love to bring your attention up to the top sides of the court here. We have a lot of amazing sponsors who support squash at this event and at many. We've got Air Sprint Private Aviation, Gerald Guthrie, Odette School of Business, Baker Tilly, McHugh, who puts up this gorgeous court, Devonshire Mall, your favorite Squash Canada. And we also have WLEI, Windsor Laser Eye Institute, ARC, and also Breadth Consulting. Eastern Flavors, Dunlop, and WFCU Credit Union. And then last but not least, SAS Consulting, the title sponsor of this event. We are pretty lucky here in Windsor to have so much support of the local community. And then nationally, we have some wonderful supporters that help this court move all around Canada. On the front wall there, you'll see Syra Group, Richardson Wealth. We've got Slate Music and AMJ Campbell, who help move the court all around the country. If you're ever interested in supporting the glass court and events that Squash Canada puts on, or this Windsor event in particular, come check out the squash, chat with us about it, get in touch with Squash Canada online. If you love squash in Windsor as well, you're welcome to check out Windsor Squash and Fitness, just down the road here from the mall. It's a great place, a great community of squash. And I'm lucky to have been here many times and enjoyed the wonderful environment that they create with their great members. Sackby really dominating the start of this game. Sackby's moving sharper, looking extremely confident, and I'm sure players listening are very familiar. When you get in that zone, it can be very hard to beat. I was watching one of the juniors, Vishal Mehta, playing against Will Harris, and he had one game where he was lights out, hitting winner after winner, couldn't miss a shot. And then the next game, Will fought back and kind of grinded in, and it really changed. Very interesting. Momentum swings can be really extreme in squash. Mitch is trying to change this one right now. 3-6 mid-game. Big push for him now. It might be. Case of the mysterious missing ball just disappeared, so they're warming up a new ball here. Just these two warming up the ball. For any juniors watching, I have a feeling these guys aren't just hitting the ball to warm it up. They're probably sharpening up, making sure they're ready for the start of this next part of the third game. And as a coach, I can also point out how active they are warming up that ball, how they're hitting so sharply and hitting it so hard as well. I know some of the juniors that I coach have a very relaxed warm-up, which is fine. Everyone has a different style, but you do want to get your feet going, sharpen up your shots. It's a great time to make yourself feel great before your match starts. Very hot in here today. It's sunny and making this section of the mall quite hot. This is an atrium where the food court in the Windsor Devonshire Mall used to be. So there's tons of sunlight overhead. Lots of windows. Nice to see the light come in. Makes it very hot to play on. Couple of hard hitters here. It's a really fast pace. Nick very good at mixing up the pace. He knows what he's doing when he needs to do it. I know he picked up the pace at the end of that second game to pull back from game ball down. And I'm sure he sees the benefits of that against a slightly less experienced player. Oof. That's a big lunge. I probably already said this, but I am so excited to see so many people stopping to watch squash. You hear some people say, oh, squash, I love squash, I played squash. Some people think it might be racquetball, and some people have no idea what's in front of them, so we're exposing the sport to brand new people. One of the many joys that comes with being able to put a glass court anywhere. Tons of kids and adults trying squash on the inflatable court on the side. It's pretty wonderful to see. Sharp squash from Sackby in and out of the front corners really smoothly. Great movement. So smooth. You don't want to leave it loose for Sackby in the middle. He hits it incredibly hard. If you give him this space. Sackby's probably had quite a long season with the full squash season from September through to June was our nationals this year, and likely didn't get much of an opportunity to stop before playing the Commonwealth Games at the end of July through the start of August. He's non-stop, and he's got a good lead here. Quite a few match balls. Nice finish. Great finish from Caneret. A little bit of a hole to come out of here for the younger player. Tricky one, missing the ball in the light there on the left wall. I'm sure you'll see both players looking to take advantage of this left wall, hiding the ball from their opponent in the light. Some of the players have said it's, oh, that is it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Sackby takes it 11-8, 3-love, and he moves on to play the winner of Maz Mufti and Shah Jahan Khan. Shah Jahan around 30 in the world right now. A great opportunity for Maz Mufti. We look forward to seeing them both play later. Nick will do a cool down, recover. So will Mitch. He's had a long week of squash already. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you soon back here at the JK Windsor Cup. Sam Cornett here, back for this next match. Mike McHugh versus Elliot Hunt. Mike currently at U of T, in the midst of a very long PSA squash career as well. Doing both. Elliot at Western University, playing squash there. That's sharp from McHugh, great start. Mike's highest world ranking, number 79, currently sitting at 108. Pretty impressive for full time at U of T. Elliot not currently on the PSA world ranking list, but no doubt he has it in him if he's interested after he finishes university. Mike unfortunately had an injury at the later end of this past year, a really tough one. I believe a hamstring. So it's nice to see him on court, looking smooth, looking sharp, keeping things tight as usual. Mike's had quite a bit of time on this glass court. Elliot maybe a bit less, but both look pretty confident on here. We'll see how it plays out through this match. Going for the top spin drop from the lefty on that left side. I've tried that shot many times myself. It works about 1 in 10, so I keep doing it. For those watching, we've had a lot of questions about how the glass court plays differently than a regular panel or cement court. And typically, you would find the glass court really, if you play it right, you can really stretch your opponents out more because the glass is a bit less bouncy. This is in fact a single dot white ball to add some bounce to a very sort of dead court typically. So if you hit great length, you really push your opponent into the back corners if they even get it. And if you hit nice short drops, the ball just stays so much shorter than on a panel court. It's pretty satisfying once you figured it out. But it can be hard to get started. A lot of people leave the ball to get it off the back wall, and it dies before it usually would. Tight counter there from Hunt. This court is hot. We're under an atrium, so there's windows, there's a lot of sun, so a little bit less dead than it might be in another setting. Quite lively here at Devonshire Mall. Oh, dead Nick. I've actually seen, I think, 2 of those today. Crowd goes wild for the dead Nick. We're so lucky to have this tournament here in Windsor. Great opportunity for all of our young Canadian players to get to play top pros like Mike, Nick, and then some of the top players in the world as well. Top in Canada, top in the world, and our developmental players, our next-gen players are getting exposed to such good squash and hopefully inspired by the setting and the people that they're going to meet here this week. If you're watching and you're in Windsor, definitely check out the Windsor Squash and Fitness Club if you haven't already been many times before. They would love to have you, welcome you into the squash family. I've mentioned this already, but tons of people stopping to watch squash as they walk through the mall, try out mini squash on the inflatable court that we have to the side. It's a great setting. We're making the most of it. Lots of exposure for our great sport. Wow. Really thoughtfully placed length there from McHugh. He knew exactly where he wanted it to bounce to make Hunt stretch out to the max, not even get the ball. There's so much good squash to watch today. This is just the start, really, of a long day of fantastic matches. So if you're not here, ooh, looks like a stroke. You should get here if you can. Full day, start to finish, 12 until about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. There'll be squash here at Devonshire Mall in the atrium. Bring your racket, try out the inflatable court. Chat with the pros who are around. McHugh with a solid lead here now. Strong forehand there from Hunt. Nice tight straight drive. Hunt clawing ahead here. Or sorry, clawing to get even here. Very tight squash from both players right now. Wow, what a get. Beautiful finish from McHugh. Really nice combination. Tight drop, and then a well-placed cross. Both just at the edge of reach or out of reach. Ooh, get out of there. Ooh, couldn't quite get out of there. Really great get, but not quite out of there in time to recover and continue. Stroke for McHugh. Score has progressed a bit here. Lucky error to keep Hunt in the game. Score is 8-10. Tough error for the game there. Game 11-8, 1-love. McHugh in a good position to start this match. We'll see you after the break. back in for the second game. Score is 4-1 for McHugh. Just generally here, both players really, really solid players. McHugh, you'll notice, more intent with where he's playing the ball. Very sharp in terms of his placement, very aware of where Hunt is. Very conscious of how tight he has to hit the ball based on where his opponent is as well. Elliott hits a tight ball too, but generally leaves more available, more options for McHugh to hit. Just down. Never a dull moment with McHugh. He loves a chat, usually to himself. Shout out to Devonshire Mall again for this beautiful venue that they've let us take over here at Devonshire Mall. They are very happy with this event. They're really enjoying having it. It's bringing lots of attention, lots of intrigue to this space in the mall. Perfect size space for a squash court. The beauty of a glass court, it can fit just about anywhere. I'm sure you've seen squash in front of the Pyramid, squash at Grand Central Station, squash on Hong Kong Harbor, Victoria Harbor. It's a pretty special thing that we play a sport that can be put up in such grand locations. Great visibility for our sport. Great finish from Hunt. He'll be really happy with that rally. Kept it tight, kept McHugh on the move. Needs to keep the pressure on McHugh like that. I have no doubt Hunt has looked up to McHugh as he went through his junior career while McHugh has been playing PSA. A bit of a guess there from Hunt. That's a long rally. Tough rally. I really don't think we could be at a better place in the mall. We're at the junction of 3 different hallways. Very busy with people checking out squash. Commanding lead from McHugh in the second game. that's it. Second game to McHugh. Hunt pushing him a little bit, but McHugh looking confident, looking relaxed. Sometimes you can tell with a player's body language when they're being tested, when they're nervous. It takes a lot of experience and a lot of mental fortitude to not let that kind of thing show. I think McHugh feeling confident here, not having to stress too hard. Few errors from Hunt, giving him consistent leads as we go into this third game. See you soon. I am lucky to be joined here in the commentary booth with our just recent winner, Nick Sackby. Welcome, Nick.
Hey, Sammy. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for joining me.
Good to be here.
Quick roundup of the Commonwealth Games that you were just at. So exciting.
Yeah, it was a great event. I think I was away for 18 or so days. A lot of squash, good amount of singles, but then a lot of doubles, hefty amount. So that was a lot of fun. It was exciting.
Yeah, it seemed exciting. You guys had a great result. Tell me about that match.
Yeah. In the doubles, David and I, worked well together. We had some good chemistry out there. Got a big win against Wales, and that was a lot of good energy going through into the next round, playing the quarters against England. And we went up 1-love, had our moments in the third, and just got a little scrappy, a lot of calls happening, and it just didn't end up in our favor at the end, which is a little disappointing because we had our moments and our leads in the game to win. But it was definitely a tough one to swallow after, but we played well, and it was good fun.
Was that Waller-Selby combo?
Waller-Selby, yeah.
It's a lot of big boys
and they ended
out there.
up getting silver and losing to Declan, James, and James Wilstrap.
That's a lot of big boys on the court. Wow. You guys are all very hard hitters.
Yeah.
The match was pretty fast-paced, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think David and I were probably pounding a few more balls than the other guys. They were trying to play probably a cleaner single style with some variety, but we knew we had to, play that kind of scrappy play and mix it up with a lot of variety and angles to kind of to mess with their rhythm.
Yep.
But yeah, it's definitely, after that it was, it's nice being here now, actually playing, but I definitely needed some time to relax after, so it's a kind of a quick turnaround when you think about it. But I'm glad this is more of a fun event in a sense, and good to get some matches actually, and some exposure, and it's great to be on the glass court again. Obviously we play on it a few times a year now, and it's tough to get used to right away, so once you get some practice, some matches, you start to feel more confident out there.
Yep.
Definitely had a tough one today. It could have been 1-1 at one point, but
Yeah, you really
I just
fired
tried.
it up.
I just tried to pick up the pace and just try and find my lines. I mean, I wasn't attacking too much or stepping up the court.
Yeah,
maybe
you
a little flat today, I'd say. But
yeah.
and Mitchell was on. I mean, he was hitting some great shots. Like almost my feet weren't moving to the ball and ready for them. He did hit some great tight balls, some great kills, and I was not ready for it. So fair play to him. He played great.
He played great. Yeah, that's kind of similar to what we're seeing here. McHugh is kind of settling in, and now he's looking quite dominant. So, he's playing a younger player as well. What do you think this means for someone like Elliot Hunt or Mitch Connor who played you?
Yeah, it's great. I'm sure they'd love to get their crack at those top guys like Diego and Marwan, Greg Marsh, etc. So obviously against us, they probably think they have a little more hope to squeak out games, and obviously they'd love to win against us. But it's obviously great exposure for them. It's not too often that they're going to be playing us other than the odd local pro event or a nationals, for instance, right? So
yeah, it's a great opportunity for them.
It's good for them to feel the level and the pace and the difference in maybe accuracy. So
agreed.
And who doesn't love to get out and play on a glass court? It's a great feeling, just the sound of the ball, and it has a different effect out there being on court.
Yeah. Was there a player, how Mitch just played you, was there a player that you remember playing that was really influential, really fired you up at the kind of start of your squash career? Was there a match like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have that. I definitely started playing the Open, I think, when I was 15. I'm not going to give credit to Jamie Nichols, although he did beat me when I was 15 in my first Ontario closed. But, there's definitely some, maybe at Mitch and Elliot's age, they're probably, 19, 20, 21 now. Like, those guys are, guys around their age. Obviously, Elliot's a little older now, but I'd say at that age, I was playing some, I guess the top guys in Canada at the time were like, I'd play Dane or maybe Shahir still at the end of his career, and you'd get some matches with those guys and maybe, have a little hope and play some good matches. But, it's hard to say. I mean, at that time, I was playing guys like Ceridiac and the guys who were still on the tour.
Yep. Looking to take chunks out of them.
Obviously, maybe you didn't play out some of those guys too often, but obviously when you got some exposure to play a Shahir or a Sean or Dane, someone who was playing full-time on the tour, top 100, it was always a little bit of, a good experience and sometimes a little bit of a shock. Say he's playing Shahir, like, his slow, tight, rhythmic play always was tough. I found I played him a couple times when I was younger, and it was a wake-up call because you think you're playing well and in it in the first game, and then you just would hit a wall. And,
kind of just stalls you, right? Like,
and the burn would kick in, and you'd
must
be like,
hurt.
oh, yeah, this is not fun.
And you must feel that burn against someone like Razik, like before you even start the match, because it's going to be a grind, right?
Yeah, it's expected, right? It's like you want to come out fast and firing, and it's hard to maintain that, especially when someone's more accurate and really using all four corners of the court.
Yep, definitely. What do you think of the end of this match? Well, we'll see. 5-8. It's kind of tight. McHugh looking sharp, maybe a little bit tired, but still looking sharp, not really pressured too much in this match.
Yeah, Elliot's got to probably pull out a few good rallies here to give Mike some issues. I think Mike's going to try and close it out here.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to play an extra game for first day of the event. Neither did I.
Yeah.
I was lucky to get off in 3.
Mike's he's stretching Elliot out a lot more than Elliot's stretching him out. So no matter how tired you are, as long as you're stretching the other person out, they're more tired.
Yeah, and you got to make sure you get your length to the back of the court on here, or else it becomes a little fast-paced and scrappy.
Yep.
But great setup here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's
Lots
nice
of passers-by seeing you guys play.
Yeah. one guy did call it racquetball. I got a little upset with that one, so.
Did you correct him?
I did correct him.
That's nice.
You have to.
There was a former racquetball national team member who passed by. She saw it on the news. We had a really nice piece on CTV, and she came by and brought her grandson. So nice.
Awesome, yeah.
It's a great community here.
Yeah, they've done a great job. They've put a lot of,
a lot of heart into it.
A lot of everything into this, so it's good. They're doing a great job.
Match ball for McHugh here. If you watch McHugh's movement, it's pretty smooth, pretty methodical. Elliott's having to turn on the jets quite a bit more than McHugh. It's great length to finish.
Beauty.
Mike McHugh through to the next round. And I'd like to thank you, Nick, for joining me in the commentary box.
Happy to be here. I'll have to join you again this week.
Yeah, look forward to watching you play more. See you soon, everyone, for the next match. Coming in for our next match here, Liam Marison against Salah El Torgman. A couple Toronto boys. Grew up playing together at the NSA, National Squash Academy, which we miss dearly. Shout out to Leslie McHugh, who might still be watching. He's been watching all the matches. So these two young guys are both in the early stages of their PSA career. You know, now that I'm working for Squash Canada, we love to see these kind of matchups. Liam played George earlier this week in the satellite event. Salah, Liam now. Very tense matches as a player, playing people that, you know, are on the same track as you, with the same goals as you. A lot of pride on the line in this kind of match. Great opportunity to have them play each other. You know, some players will find this kind of match stressful, some won't. I think the majority will find it stressful, even though this is an invitational event, so not for PSA points. It's still got a lot on the line. You want to win a match like this against someone that you're probably going to be playing for, you know, throughout the length of your career. Nice finish. These guys, I think, have been training together in Toronto for a little while. Salah spent some time in Egypt, I'm sure, and I believe Liam in Spain doing some training there. Both very serious with their goals and aspirations for the PSA World Tour, playing for Canada. While we're in the early stages here, shout out to our referees. We've had Darren Manley here since, I believe it Sunday or Monday. We're lucky to have him. And then you see Steve and Andreas back there. Lucky to have Squash Canada refs here at the Windsor Cup. Oh, interesting. I had a stroke in my mind, but this kind of thing is subjective. For sure. We've had such good support from the Windsor squash community and the community at large here. Tons of volunteers, more than we need, really, but that's a great problem to have. Everyone wants to be around this event. It's got such a good atmosphere here at Devonshire Mall. Wow. What a finish. Marison's a pretty showy player, something like his father. Loves a nice shot to finish. Loves to mess with his opponent and use a lot of deception and disguise. I've seen a lot of nicks today. Around the back, a couple dead rollers off the back wall nick. That's a Willie Hosey special. A lot of sidewall nicks in the back corners. tight. Marison's a pretty quiet player, but you can see how much this match means to him with those quiet but fierce fist pumps. Salah looks very relaxed generally when he plays. He also has that quiet intensity. Great finish. Ooh, calling it down maybe. Salah not sure about that one. Great finish. Beautiful shot. Well planned, well executed. Salah can take a lot of space around the tee if you hit a loose shot. He's a tall, young man. It'll put you in a lot of trouble if you leave it there for him. Great hands to finish it off, too. Winner of this match plays the winner of Diego Elias and Amin Khan. Number 1 seed Diego against local favorite Amin. Liam Marison currently sitting at his best ranking. Number 187 in the world on the PSA World Tour. Meanwhile, it's pretty tight. Salah Torgman also sitting at his best world ranking to date, 184. That's pretty close. And I'm lucky to be joined in the commentary box at the end of this game by our recent winner, Mike McHugh. Mike, thanks for getting our mic and headset really sweaty. Welcome to the commentary box.
Great, thanks for having me. In straight after the match. Still dripping sweat.
It's pretty hot in here. The sun's coming in. It's hard to stop. I'm not doing anything and I'm sweating.
It's nice though. I think most players would rather play in a slightly warmer conditions, especially on the glass court. If it's cold on the glass court, it can be pretty tough to dig the ball out of the corners. So
Agreed.
I think everyone enjoys the summer weather, even if it's indoors.
Agreed. Speaking of, it's pretty noticeable in your match how much more aware you were of, I think, the conditions, the glass court, as well as your opponent. What did you think of your match? Did you notice that kind of difference between you and Hunt?
To be honest, I didn't feel super comfortable out there. Just had a 20-minute practice this morning, and anybody who's played on the glass court knows how difficult it is to adjust, especially when you're playing in the daytime. But I think maybe in general, having played on a glass court more often over the years, you sort of understand what kind of squash you have to play. You need to be in front. You need to be the person dictating and attacking first. You can't win rallies from behind. So even if you're not totally comfortable, you have to try and continue attacking, be aggressive, just like Salah's done here.
Agreed. I actually think Liam might be hurting there. It looked like he rolled his ankle mid-rally there.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Let's see.
Or it was a
two
knee
minutes
breaker.
to sort it out.
Yeah. I think he's probably fine. He's a grinder. I think I spoke to him at a tournament earlier this year, and he was pretty injured, but he didn't care. He just kept playing. So he played through and played smart. I'm sure we won't see any issue from that. It did look like a bit of an ankle or knee breaker, though, that reverse post. What do you think of this venue in terms of exposure for squash?
I think it's fantastic. I mean, this is, I guess, the third or fourth time this court's been set up in a really public venue. Obviously had a Yorkdale in Toronto in the fall, which was really cool. That was the sort of return to squash after, year and a half of COVID. And then out in Calgary, which I missed, unfortunately, Vancouver, and now here. I think it's great that, especially in a city like Windsor that probably isn't used to seeing these types of squash events, there's a lot of space. I don't know if people watching on TV can really sense that, but there's a lot of space around the court. It's not cramped. People can sort of watch from 3 of the 4 sides of the court, and it's in a really interesting spot within the mall. Tons of passers-by, and I think it's great to have both men's and women's, some Canadians, some top international players. It's an easy attraction for people passing by.
Yeah, it's generated a lot of attention. Tons of people trying out that inflatable court. Tons of people stopping and wondering if it's racquetball, squash, or what it is, because they have no idea, which is awesome for us. Very important question for you now. Is there anything you'd like to say to your mom? She's been watching.
Oh, my mom's been watching. I mean, yeah, I think maybe get back to work. I don't know. She's told
she
me
says she was working while she was watching.
She's working
she
afternoons
claims.
and evenings, but yeah, she sometimes. I'm impressed that she was able to queue up, the stream and have other work screen going at the same time. So she's learning, improving. That's good. But
multiple screens is
probably
key.
the number one squash fan, mother squash fan, and that's with some pretty stiff competition. So.
Agreed. She's on top of it. She's always watching every match. We chat a lot.
There's always a text on my phone before I walk off the court, go straight to my phone to see who's messaged or whatever, and there's always one from her within about 30 seconds of finishing. Even with the delay, I'm sure it's a few seconds behind real life here, but.
I was talking, just a couple more questions for you here. I was talking to our viewers about how, a match like this that these two guys are playing right now, they are both starting their PSA career. They're in the early stages, and they're both ranked within, 3 ranking points. What does that feel like for them, from your own experience? What does an invitational match, not a PSA match, but they're playing their hearts out right now? What do you think they're feeling?
It's difficult to say, and I think it depends on every young player has sort of a different mentality with regards to what their short-term, long-term goals are, where they're at in their career right now. And I don't mean that as a cop-out answer, but it's possible that one of these two guys is feeling more pressure than the other. It's possible that one of them is looking at it as an opportunity to get to play a top player, and whoever wins this, I think, plays potentially Diego tomorrow, which is obviously an amazing experience for anybody, and there's sort of the positive incentive there, and then there's also the negative pressure of you never want to be seen to losing to someone who's directly sort of a contemporary of yours, and I think that can the way you think about that before the match dictates maybe the way you play. If you're thinking, if you're playing for the upside, playing for the opportunity that you get if you win, you might be a bit more aggressive out there and sort of do the right things squash-wise. And if you're worried about losing to someone ranked within a couple spots of you, you might play a little on the negative side, which is something that I certainly did many times when I was younger. But yeah, there's no PSA points on the line here, but it's a glass court. The match is on TV. There's tons of people watching. A match with a top 10 player in the world is the reward for the winner, and I don't think these guys train together. We've all been training together all summer, and there's barely any incentive is needed for the matches to be fought sort of tooth and nail, and so it's not even that much different than a normal day at training. Just the stakes are a bit higher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So on that same line, you're talking about an opportunity. I think